Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm Spiritual Coach Lisa Hop. It is Sunday, May 31st, 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. I personally can't believe we're already through May. Time just flies nowadays, doesn't it? For those of you who are new to this podcast, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Please be sure to check out my website at lisahop.com. I'm also on Instagram under Spiritual Coach Lisa M. Hop, and I'm on Facebook under Lisa M. Hop, Spiritual Coach and Medium. I'm on TikTok as well at Lisa M. Hop, I believe is the ID to sign on. So welcome. For those of you listening on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share if you connect with this podcast, and everyone on every platform. I know I'm on several: iHeart and Apple and Spotify. Thank you. Just to name a few. And for those of you who listen every week, thank you so much. I am so very grateful. Please be sure to check out my website at lisahop.com, everyone. I've been adding events. I also have added a new collection of meditations to my stand store. And these meditations are the Sacred Connection meditations that guide you to connect to your angels, your spirit guides, to your highest self, and to the I am presence. And so that would be Stan Store, that's STAN.STORE /Serenity Harbor. So please go there and pick up your collection. I'll also be adding some digital courses coming up, and also some standalone meditations as well. So yes, check it out. I'm hoping it will help you, and if you do purchase it, and please give me feedback. I would appreciate it so very much. So on to today's topic. And today's topic is the difference between intuition, fear, and wishful thinking. Intuition is, I feel, the greatest gift that we are given. It's our navigational system. It's more than a sixth sense. It's our way of discerning. And it's so important right now to have intuition and to develop your intuition. The mentors that I have in my life talk constantly about their intuition and listening to it no matter what, because the environment around us can be so loud to discourage us from trusting this intuition. So I'd like to go over today the difference between these three categories: intuition, fear, and especially wishful thinking. Right. So what sets intuition apart, really? Or what we often think about with intuition is that it should be loud. But really, that's one of the biggest misconceptions. That intuition arrives like a lightning bolt, that it is loud. Often intuition is calm. It is simple. It is matter of fact. It is neutral. It's consistent. It's just there. It's like this quiet little subtleness. And often for me, it's just a knowing. Or sometimes it is my highest self, or even a guide just kind of coming through with something like, you know that. Why didn't you know that? And it's knowing it without even understanding how you know it. And so it's very important to know that sometimes it is like a whisper. It is like so quiet that you have to really be tuned into it. You have to be in the present moment. And sometimes it's just, I need to do this. I need to make that phone call. I shouldn't take this route today. I need to look into that opportunity. It might be time to move on. And again, it's almost like an aha that comes. And it arrives, this message, and it simply sits there for you to notice it. Think back to a time when you followed your intuition. How did it feel in your body? Because we all have a way of receiving our intuitive nudges. Again, sometimes it's a voice. Sometimes it is a feeling. Sometimes it's just a knowing. Sometimes for me, I can get a queasy feeling when it's not the right move to make. So our bodies are wonderful instruments to help us, but we all have our way. Some have more than one way of listening to that intuition. So think about that for yourself and really hone it, really develop it, because then trust it. If you have it developed, you can really trust it. It doesn't matter who is speaking around you or what is happening around you. You know what you know, and then you stick with it. It's with faith. It's with certainty. It's with just this solidness. That is the key to using your intuition. Now, sometimes fear can disguise itself as guidance. So let's talk about that, because fear is so powerful. The number one thing, honestly. Well, no. Honestly, the number one thing. Oh my gosh, sorry. Must be really early on this Sunday morning. When I talk to heaven for myself, talk to my guides, talk to my angels, the number one thing that they advise me to do is to love. But the second thing is to release the fear, which is why I released a meditation called Releasing Fear, because it's so powerful and it stops us from taking the steps in our life to give ourselves a better life. Fear often sounds like, what if? What if I fail? What if they reject me? What if I lose money? What if I'm wrong? What if it's the wrong step? What if I fail? Right? The what ifs. And fear is louder. It gets into what I call our monkey thoughts, into our head. It creates anxiety. It is repetitive. It sounds more urgent. No, it's not that quietness, that subtleness, that whisper that intuition can have. And fear loves to replay the same thing, the same movie, the same record over and over and over again. Where intuition will speak once or twice, fear keeps calling. There's this wonderful statement I heard recently. Intuition informs, fear persuades. Don't let fear persuade you into stalling, into feeling fear, into feeling anxiety, into not trusting yourself. You see, fear is part of our ego, and it thinks its job is to protect us. And yes, we have survival in us from history, from the past. But in this time, we don't have to be so much about surviving. We don't have to outrun things that are trying to harm us. We are now in a time of, in a technology time where we don't have to have those survival instincts like we have. We understand about infinite supply now, infinite possibilities, our own inner strengths, our own inner power. And so it's very important to pay attention to what you're thinking and what you're feeling, and to make sure that it is a genuine divine intuitive message, and not your fears coming into play. Because fears, again, hold us back. They take away our joy. They take away opportunities in our lives. They take away us taking those chances, having that fulfillment, having happiness. No, there's really no such thing as risk if you have faith. And fear tells us that we have to play it safe, that we have to protect ourselves. When it's, if we use our intuition, then again, we are protected anyway. We really are protected anyway. Now I'd like to go on to wishful thinking. And I know that I have dealt with wishful thinking in the past. And this is a tricky one. Because wishful thinking is when we want something so badly, when we're attached. Maybe it's about whom we feel is a soulmate, a relationship. Maybe it's an investment that we think will solve everything. Maybe it's an investment, a wishful thinking of someone will finally change in our life, or things will finally change. It's really about expectation and attachment again. And that also can cause us suffering. And I remember in my past, when I wanted something to work out, I would even think I was seeing signs, positive signs. Really, I was so attached to outcome, I was attracting signs that I didn't understand. I thought, oh, if I've gotten a sign, that must mean I should stick with it. That's going to be all right. That's going to turn out. When really it was just really manifestation. It was law of attraction showing me what my focus was on. So we really, again, have to get into our inner knowing, our intuition, and to see, is this something that I just want to happen, or is this something that is best to happen? The characteristics often of wishful thinking are emotionally being charged, attached again, ignoring the red flags, just being disappointment when not being happy and disappointed. And so intuition will always tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. Wishful thinking seeks that preferred outcome. Thankfully, in my work as a intuitive coach, I don't get feedback on many people who are not pleased with their appointment with me. But I can tell you, in the rarer moment where something comes back to me, it's tied to someone's wishful thinking not being satisfied. They're hearing that what they want isn't going to turn out the way they want it. Now, things are trying to turn out for the better for them. But they're tied to a certain outcome, to a certain person. It has to be them. You don't know what you're talking about. You must be off. She's off because I didn't hear what I wanted to hear. Now, over 40 years ago, I understand. I used to go to person to person to person, waiting to hear what I wanted to hear, waiting for that one person that would tell me what I wanted to hear. And then when I backed up, gave it distance, let it go, I got exactly what I wanted. It turned out because I wasn't getting in the way. I was understanding that there was a higher good involved. We cannot force. It causes resistance. It causes us to work against ourselves. So it has to be black and white when we're going to the how or the particular person, or it has to be that particular outcome. All we're doing is harming ourselves. But we will think it's got to be my gut. I know they're my soulmate. I know that's the way to do it. But that is, again, ego. And we have to watch with our ego. Is how you are feeling, is it of your embodiment, of your being, which would be perhaps in the middle part of your body more, your heart area? And I don't mean the emotional heart. I mean the actual organ that's the heart. because that is organ that holds the greatest intuition. So if that gut of yours and that heart is telling you one thing and your head is telling you another, well, you hopefully will know which one to listen to. Because again, the head is going to store those fears and those thoughts to fear. And those thoughts that you're not good enough and you're not worthy. And maybe they can change. And maybe if you give it one more week or one more year, that something will turn out. That they'll finally ask you to marry them. Or you'll finally get in some other way something you want. Stalling, waiting, hoping, wishing. The important thing is to understand how very loved you are, how very worthy you are, how good you are, how great you are, how gifted you are, how much you deserve. Be in the present moment and take one moment at a time. If someone is meant to be in your life, they will, even if they leave, they will come back to you. The wills have to line up, both wanting what is best for each other. If an opportunity for finances is meant to be yours, the thing with finances is that it's not about income. It's about openness to abundance, because abundance comes in various ways. It can come with breaks. It can come with generosity towards you. This weekend was out and about, and there was so much generosity and so much warmth and honestly love coming at me. It was yesterday on Saturday, such a wonderful day. That's abundance. And then monetarily things came in. I call it being in the flow. And so Source provides for us. Sometimes they don't just provide for us a check, an income, a paycheck is what I meant. Sometimes it provides the seeds for you to grow your prosperity. And so we have to trust that we are always taken care of. And be open to how that's done. Because sometimes the work that we think would be involved is not the work that ends up being the work that fulfills our soul. And so it is about following that inner flow, that inner self, and trusting the intuition as well, again, into that. This feels right. This doesn't feel right. No matter what, have you ever walked into a room and wanted to exit the room immediately? I've done that. I don't feel good in here. I don't like it. Sometimes I don't feel right about going to something, but I don't live in fear. That's the one thing with that. I just listen to how I feel. And I'm very happy to say this. I give a lot of space and room. I think things through. I don't overreact with my mind. I'm an emotional person. I'm a Cancer sign. But I will give that space, I guess what I want to call grace to things, environments, whether to attend, how I deal with people. I let them be human. I let them be who they are. And I'm digressing a bit here with saying this. But constantly, again, I'm being told, no matter what, give love, give forgiveness. We have this thing in our world, this belief system that says when you forgive someone, they have to know you have. that you have to verbalize it, that when you love someone, you have to, well, heaven wants us to say it. They want us to show it. But love that I get told about to give is energy, the energy of love. You give it out to people you're not even speaking to. You give it out to people who have harmed you. You give it out to the worst of mankind through energy. You just let it flow out there, and it's transformative. It changes things. And it also increases your intuition because you're in the channel. You're in the higher consciousness. You're where all the answers are stored. You cannot make a decision that's intuitive when you're angry, when you are holding grudges, when you're sad, when you are feeling betrayed. It is important to step back and to come from that place of forgiveness and love and what could be happening here. Now, sometimes what could be happening here, and I almost did a topic this week about relationships because, we deal with them every day, don't we? But sometimes those who harm us the most are those who've been the most harmed. Sometimes it's, well, they're not really good to be in our life. And maybe that how they are shouldn't matter. Let them be where they are. I know that the book author Mel Robbins has a book, Let Them. I haven't read it, but I love the title. Let them. They're not getting away with anything. No one's ever getting away with anything, by the way. And please, no, I'm not saying that you should ever wish karma against another person because it boomerangs back to you. It's not good. Never put out what you don't want to get back. But we have an energy system. We have natural laws in this universe. What goes out comes right back around again. I observe. Sometimes I'm not in a position to know or observe. But what I do observe is for myself what I'm worthy of, what I'm deserving of, where my bar is. And sometimes those people that you thought were your people are not your people. And you don't have to win. You don't have to prove your point. You don't have to, prove your side. You don't have to, again, win anything that is forced. You just live your life. And you live it to the best of your fulfillment, and you have around you those who are your people. And intuition will help you with that. You notice how I keep segueing back. So use it. It is so powerful because it is about divine guidance. It is the primary way that Spirit communicates with us too. Your angels, your guides, your higher self again, your wisdom, your divine wisdom. And faith is often required. It's because sometimes we're not shown every step. But the steps will be shown when we're meant to see them. So I want you to love yourself and to trust yourself now. And to be willing to put yourself first in a way that you listen to that inner guidance, that you trust in that higher source. Even if it means that your relationships change, that your work changes, that something happens that you don't like. Trust it. Because Source, universe, God, heaven is always trying to line up the best life for you. It's always working on your behalf, but we have to let it. We have to know that we're partners with it. We often keep this energy separate from us. I hear it every day. Something that's out there, and we're hoping it approves of us. Like we pray outward. Yes, I talk out to guides, to God, to Blessed Mother Mary, to Jesus, to angels, to sometimes to departed loved ones. But they're also not just there for us to talk to. They're a part of us. They answer. Sometimes they answer with our inner being. So keep your inner being invested in knowing, in tuned. Pay attention to it. Practice with it. Because when you get how you receive things, whether it's your body telling you or in any other way, as I've given earlier in this podcast, when you know your way, then you can really perfect it and really trust it. And also, it's so very important as we close today. As you practice with this intuition, you don't have to get everything right. And it's a process. When I was younger, when I was a wee one, I still have a little, not so much anymore, but even perhaps in the last 10 years, I wanted to believe what people said. And I wanted to take them on their word. But years ago, decades ago, I would refuse to trust my intuition and would just listen to what they said, taking them entirely on their word. And then find out later I was correct. My intuition was correct. Now, you don't have to you don't have to have a big discussion if what you're hearing is different from your intuition. Just trust your intuition. Because through trusting your intuition, trust is built. And when you have trust of yourself, it doesn't matter what everyone else is doing. You can decide what to do with them then. You're not counting on them to come through for you. You are counting on yourself. So allow yourself again to practice with it. Allow yourself to learn. Allow yourself to be human and have those moments where you wanted to believe in something a little bit or someone. And even when you make a choice that doesn't work out the way you hoped, you can always redirect. Always come back to that guidance, because trust is built one step at a time. And the more you listen to your intuition, the stronger the inner voice becomes. It will start to get loud. It'll start to get really loud. And sometimes it happened this weekend as well. Well, I felt like I had more presence of spirit around me. But my intuition said, they're just here. They're not trying to warn you about something. There's nothing to feel fear about. So I don't get scared unnecessarily. So it's such a gift. It's a gift about decisions in life. Everyone who's wealthy, for the most part, is using their intuition. They're making decisions. They're feeling it out. They're not just going off of papers in front of them. So it's such a gift. It really is. So I want to leave you with this today. What is one thing that your intuition has been gently trying to tell you that you've been afraid to hear? It's all right to hear it. It's very powerful when we come into that knowing, when we come into that trust. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you connected with that in some way. Now, please be sure to check out my website at lisahop.com. And if you are on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. And if you have any suggestions for topics, please suggest them. Any feedback you'd like to have, please do so. And again, get those meditations and look for offerings to come at my Stan store, stan.store/Serenity Harbor. And check me out on Facebook under Lisa M. Hop, Spiritual Coach and Medium. Instagram under Spiritual Coach Lisa M. Hop. I say this every week, don't I, listeners? Avid listeners, you know I do this. I'm going to be getting on social media more. I have to be genuine. I have to be me. I've finally come to the understanding it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't have to get it all completely right. But sometimes I'm not sure what to say or what to post. But there will be channelings coming because I think that is something I'm being guided to do on my YouTube channel. And I'm here to teach. I'm here to guide. I'm here to assist you on your journey as much as I possibly can. So join me on this journey. Let's do this together. Let's help each other. Because if we're we're all one, but if we're really truly a community, then it just makes it much less harder at times. There's nothing like unity. There's nothing like support. There's nothing like knowing that somebody has your hand. Thank you so much again. Have a wonderful Sunday if you're listening on Sunday. A wonderful week. And I'll talk to you next time. Many blessings.